Hims built a $2.7 billion empire, and while everyone obsesses over their ads and landing pages, no one is paying attention to the genius behind their emails. That's why I spent the last week analyzing every single campaign they sent in the last 6 months. And today I'm breaking down the entire strategy. Campaigns, subject lines, offers, messaging, design, copy, plus key takeaways you can implement for your brand right away. And trust me, for a brand this big, their strategy is surprisingly simple. So let's dive in. So what you can see on the screen right now is every single campaign that Hims sent out and then a strategy breakdown that you can implement and steal for your own brand. Let me maybe start with the August, which was the last month we analyzed. August 2025, they sent 18 emails. Now, I know it might seem like a lot, but to be honest, this is not that much, to be fair. I know a lot of brands are scared to send, more emails. They would cap it at like 1 or 2 per week and just be scared to do more. But looking at Hims, they did 18 in August, which is quite amazing. And this theme is repeating itself across the board. In September, 14 emails. In October, 13. Then November, 12. December, 16. And January, 16 once again. So the volume is honestly quite big. They're sending pretty much a campaign every 2 days, which again might be too much for some people, but in my opinion, this is the perfect volume for a brand that big. Even if they're not, doing micro segmentation, which probably they aren't, it's still a great way to do it and just like keep, in touch with your subscribers and potential customers. But then also just kind of take your messaging, your core messaging, and put it in front of people as many times as possible, right? And you can also see that I have separated unique emails sent and then resends for one simple reason. From time to time, they'll take one campaign and resend it either the same month or the next month. And in some cases, they won't even change the subject line, which I know that some of you might be like, how is it possible just resending the exact same campaign? And also like some people might call it lazy marketing because like, hey, they probably have resources to create a new email every single month. Like that's not an issue. But I believe that the reason for doing that is they know that some of those emails just work so well. So why reinvent the wheel if we know that something is working perfectly fine? And this is one key takeaway you should implement right away for your brand. The first one obviously would be volume, because that's like most important. You need to be sending a lot of campaigns. That's just the truth. I wouldn't go below 3 to 4 per week at the very bare minimum. Sometimes with clients or brands we send for daily emails and we don't have any issues with deliverability, spam complaints, anything like that. So again, the volume is the first takeaway, but the second takeaway is to take your winners and implement them and resend them without changing anything, without trying to reinvent the angle. Take your top winning campaigns and just send them. Even if it's the same month, ideally, probably I would suggest doing it the next month though. So like, people are feel the content is fresh, but still key takeaway is to take your existing campaigns and just send them every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever the cadence you want to implement. Just do it again without changing anything, because sometimes we just try to A/B test so many things and optimize everything that we end up actually having campaigns that perform worse than the initial campaign we send out. So this is a first big takeaway, and you can see that this is the recent from August. Same goes for this one. Same goes for this one, right? So like pretty much every single one is matching. Obviously, the cadence of these emails wasn't sending the resend the next day. Sometimes they would wait 1 week, sometimes they would wait 2 weeks, and then they would do the resend. In terms of the copy and messaging, you're gonna see it across all of their emails. Super simple, direct, straight to the point. They don't have any infographics. They don't have any fancy transitions, any fancy photo shoots. It's mainly just honestly the copy or like the header, subheader with, which is also like a body copy in their case, and then a call to action. And that's it. They're not overcomplicating it, which is also something I honestly love. Like, to be honest, this is a great thing that you should be doing for a brand as well. Where you just have like a simple header that speaks directly to your audience, subheader, and then a button. And that is honestly just amazing, because this is the product that probably doesn't need much education or explaining. Like, you just want to lose weight, we are giving you the solution, here's how you can do it. Potentially, obviously, people will have some objections, but for example, this campaign is a great one for solving that, because someone probably can be thinking like, okay, should I trust this brand even though they're a big brand and I've heard of them, everyone's talking about them. Is this still the right move for me? What will my doctor say? So then you have a header, prescription plans designed by doctors. So we know it's not some random person behind the scenes trying to come up with a scheme, but actual doctor. And then reach your weight loss goals with custom treatment plans like oral medication kits for as low as $16 a month with a 10-month plan. Get started. As simple as that. you know what the plan is gonna be, so the commitment, you know how much it costs. So pretty much the only thing left for you to do is click on get started, and then again, treatments you can trust. So that kind of ties to the lack of trust I mentioned, you know, when at the beginning of like explaining this email, that some people might just not be fully sold on like, okay, is it trustworthy? You know, what would whoever say, and that's why this is a pretty good, you know, authority or social proof angle. Whereas normally you would have brands just showing reviews. They're doing it a bit differently, just giving a statement, subheader, and that's it. Then what I also am very happy to see is that they're using not that many, but some of them are plain text emails. Honestly, these are my favorites. They also went for more like a branded plain text, so not fully text, but with a logo, with some kind of, you know, footer, also with a you know, like a doctor or whoever this might be. And there's also photo, which again is a bit more branded. It isn't like crazy branded, but honestly, like all those like branded plain text emails, they don't need to have custom background color, stuff like that. It just has to be readable, and in their case it is. And again, I love the emails, like and plain text email I always love it because they just convert well, and especially for hymns, like they're super just straight to the point, right? That's why I feel like they're doing a great job with not only design-based emails, but the plain text ones as well. One thing I probably don't fully agree with is that they don't have like any long emails, right? And I know just a few minutes ago I said it's like one of the things I like about them, but I still think that, you know, what they could do is put a bit more education into their content, maybe add a bit more information about the product, process. Hell, even if they have like a, you know, 10-month plan thing, I probably would even add a timeline below, like, you know, just leave the header as it is, but then I'll add a timeline for what to expect, when to expect. They're making statements that in the first month you can lose 10.1 pounds or 11 pounds. I think in one of the emails it was also like 14 pounds, stuff like that. So like they're kind of, you know, having the numbers all over the place, which is nothing wrong. Again, here 11 pounds lost. And I think there was one about Thanksgiving that was 14. So here, yeah, Christmas-ish theme about 14 pounds in the first 2 months. Okay, so that makes sense. But still, I'll probably have some kind of timeline just to kind of visualize and show people that like, hey, you know, month 1 you're gonna lose 10 pounds, second month 14 pounds, third month, and so on. Especially that again, like 10-month plan is quite of a commitment. So what I would do is probably add some kind of timeline, or like, you know, just show people like, hey, this is what you can expect every single month. And then someone can be, you know, just a bit more peaceful with what's gonna be going on. They know what to expect, and they're not gonna be, you know, making any complaints if they don't see a specific results, because they just know what to expect. So that's one of the things I probably would do differently. Then also, again, like this is the thing they're doing great, but also the thing that they could be doing better, which is having a bit of more variety for those emails. Like for example, when I would see this email and that email, I'm not sure if I would personally like, you know, just read it all, maybe, but they're looking pretty much the same, just changed like, you know, header, subheader. Again, I feel like there's a place for both. I feel like they're doing a great job of just pretty much repeating the winners, but I'd like to see a bit more variety, even in terms of the layout, right? I know this is probably their proven layout and like they know what they're doing, but still, just for, you know, kind of breaking the pattern and showing something new, I feel like it wouldn't hurt for, instead of doing the recents, just pretty much adding a few fresh campaigns. But then again, all of their campaigns honestly just are super simple, super amazing. So like Find Your Weight Loss Plan, another one that's pretty much talking directly to the target audience, no fluff, no anything. Again, I feel like this one would be a great example for adding a bit more information, so maybe expanding on these topics, but like, you know, they're pretty much saying like, hey, hell no, we're not doing it. We just want to be super straight, super to the point, and that's fine. This is the campaign that I personally love, kind of showing the ease of using the product. So like 1 weekly injection, weight loss made simple, get started with a personalized plan, no insurance required. And then this is again a simple graphic of a calendar, but I love it because it shows like, hey, every single Sunday you can just have 1 injection and you're gonna be losing weight. Like it's as simple as that. I feel like they probably also chose Sunday because this is, you know, day off for the majority of the people. So the objection of like, hey, I won't have time to do it, or because I'm at work or whatever, is not true, simply because it's Sunday. So again, I love this email. But yeah, overall, they're doing a great job across the board, as you could probably imagine. I'll personally fix a few things, and obviously, you know, like they're running way bigger company than I am, so I don't want to be, you know, teaching them what to do. I'm just speaking from experience, because, you know, in case you didn't know, I work with like a bunch of e-com brands. In my lifetime, I've worked with over 60, helped them make $40 million, which probably compared to him is not that much, but still there are some of the lessons I've implemented for, like, you know, some of our clients, and they just worked well. So if also that's you, if you want a similar strategy for your brand, you can just book a call with me using the link below this video. Entirely free. I'm just gonna do an audit of your current strategy, tell you what you can improve, and then I'm gonna let you know how we can make it happen. Either if you can do how you can do it yourself, or if it can be me and my team helping you out. Okay, going back to Him's breakdown, this is one of these other campaigns I personally just am a big fan of. They're doing a lot of these super simple text ones, which I just assume are working very, very well. But I personally prefer these ones where like you can visually see something, or when you're giving the time frame to the desired outcome, like in this case, lose weight by holidays, and that email was sent in September. So if someone is in September losing weight by holidays, it's definitely doable. That's why they also gave this calendar, which again kind of shows you that 3 months, and by holidays you will be losing a lot of month, 11.7 pounds in the first month. So again, I love these where you can kind of visually see the timeline or what's gonna be happening after you start using the product. But yeah, overall, again, they're doing a lot of resends, which is quite interesting. But hey, like if it works, then it works. I'm not gonna be breaking down every single email because then it will be sitting here with me probably for a very, very good amount of time, probably hours or tens of hours. But if you want to get this full board with all of their emails, there's gonna be a link in the video description as well. You can just go ahead and download it. Again, it's gonna be entirely free, so you can go ahead, zoom in on every single email, and then see how maybe which ones you like, which one you want to implement, and so on. Just before I dive into the actual strategy breakdown on its own, I also love this one because it's purely scientific numbers. Like, hey, we're not telling you that 10% of customers are losing weight, which that in itself would be nice because it's a bit more specific than like thousands of customers, or like every 10th customer. But 12.2% makes your brain think like, okay, this is probably real, because if it wasn't real, like where did the number came from, right? Like if it was a made up number, a made up claim, which obviously in their case they're not doing for sure, but if it was some smaller brand, then we'd be wondering, okay, is it a made up claim or not really? Then 10% makes you kind of think like it's sus, because it's like too good to the number looks too good to be true. But if it's a super specific number, it just makes it way more believable, which is why I personally like this email quite a lot. But enough of like me showing you my favorite emails. Now let's break down their strategy in itself. So in the last 6 months, they sent 89 emails, which gives us average of almost 15 emails per month. So again, the campaign every 2 days. I personally love this schedule. We have a lot of clients doing this kind of volume, this kind of schedule, and it's working really well for them. So I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be doing it for your brand as well. Out of these campaigns, 58 were unique ones. They had 31 resends, so quite a lot of resends, to be honest, like over 5 average every single month. But again, probably they have a reason for doing it. Probably these campaigns are just crushing it, and that's why they're doing it. Otherwise, they would just probably be doing unique campaigns only. As for the plain text campaigns, only 5 out of 58 unique campaigns were plain text. So again, I would like to probably see a bit more, but still, almost 10% of all campaigns were plain text, which I think is amazing. As for day of the week, they don't have any set schedule. I've tried to analyze which day is like their best one, but they seem to be kind of random. Again, maybe they have some strategy I'm just not aware of, but when I tried to find patterns for send days, I just couldn't find them. As for the send time, they usually either send them between 9 to 10 a.m. Central Time or 1 p.m. Central Time. Then for the campaign's content strategy, they have plenty of campaigns that are resent on a bi-weekly or a monthly basis, which is something already covered. The entire monthly schedule is a mix of proven campaigns that Hims has been sending for months and just resending them, plus some new or seasonal angles added each month. There is not much education, entertainment on discounts. More emails are just handling objections and making sure that the product seems like a seamless experience and process that works, and most importantly, works quite quickly. As for subject line and preview text, they used emojis occasionally, mostly like they rarely use them. All of their subject lines, just like emails, are short and concise, which again makes the whole experience even better because they're all just branded, concise, and congruent with the emails themselves. Then there are some repeated subject lines and preview texts for most of the recent campaigns. So they will do a few resends where they take the existing campaign and just switch up the subject line, but in most cases they used the exact same subject line and preview text. No fluff, they were focused on their target audience and their dream outcome, weight loss, and that's the trend you are seeing across their subject lines. As for discounts and offers, they're barely using any discounts or offers in the campaigns at all. The only offers in the last 6 months were just a few, mentions like for example, lowest price ever as the announcement bar at the very top of the campaign, starting at $69 a month with a 10-month plan, say $30 through FSA, HSA, and then $199 per month for compounded plans. Again, no discounts, just mainly messaging about the offer. There wasn't like any, use discount code welcome to get 10% off. No stuff like that, no discounts, only specific offers for specific treatment plans as well. In terms of design and messaging, everything is super direct and simple, and I feel like that's the beauty of it. I know I said that, they could be doing something more unique, maybe adding some, better graphics or explanation, but I feel like this is, everything is done on purpose, and that's their strategy. And honestly, I like it. Like, now that I'm thinking about it a bit more, I'm a big fan of that because this is their brand. They're staying true to the brand, even though some of these quote-unquote principles aren't the industry, standards. They're doing things differently because they're doing them on brand, and this is what I personally love. So again, I feel like that's a good job on their end, and obviously they grew such a big level by doing things right. So that's why I think it's one of the key takeaways for you as well. Their copy and designs are super minimalistic. Some emails are only 2 to 3 sentences long, which again is super short, concise, and to the point. They have a few proven layouts that they just keep reusing after updating the copy or just switching to a different angle. And the goals of these emails is simple, just to get the click and send people to the landing page with different treatment plans. Messaging across all of these campaigns is about their target audience's dream outcome, which is weight loss. That's why they use super direct statements, handle objections, showcase studies, and then back everything up with numbers. Like I said before, super specific numbers, which makes it even more believable. Most of their visuals are also simple and include the product photos, which again, nothing crazy about it. Like most brands, when they send emails, they have simple visuals that, or have product photos. But again, like probably if you have some kind of visuals that are overcomplicated, maybe too fancy, this could be a lesson for you that they don't need to be like that. You can use simple product photos and they will still perform well. From time to time, they plug in lifestyle photos or doctor emails to build authority and trust further. There was one of these emails where again in the footer, we have the doctor's photo. So again, like physician, obesity, medicine, kind of, when you read that, they're like, okay, probably this guy is, knows what he's doing, even though he's the senior vice president of the company sending the email, then still, it's a doctor. So like it is believable 100%, rather than it was some random person or like, like a director or a CEO, right? Doctor is still a doctor. So that's great for trust building. Now, some of the key lessons and takeaways you can implement. First one is, like I said multiple times already, don't be afraid to send more campaigns. Volume is your number one friend, so like if you're sending really good emails, you should never be afraid to send more emails. Now, the second takeaway is that if something works, just double down on it, even if it means resending the exact same emails. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. In my opinion, yes, you should be having some unique emails, unique angles, keep on testing, but ultimately, if you have a winner that, hits very, very big numbers, big revenue, big opens, big everything, then just go ahead and resend it either every single month or every 2 months or every 3 months, whatever volume or frequency you want to do, resend it because we know for sure that, or for sure that it's gonna work. Other takeaway is that you want to build the product so good that it does the selling and emails just drive traffic. Because that's one of the things I didn't mention yet, which I believe is the main reason why their emails are so simple. They have a product that people want. They know how it works, they know it works, so they just want it. So those emails aren't really meant to educate them that much, even though again, I feel like some of them might be doing it. But on the other hand, people know what the product is, they know what it does, so they just want to get it, and that's why all of their emails are super short, to the point. The goal is just to drive traffic to the landing page and then sell the product. Sometimes less is more, so you just want to give people exactly what they want without any fluff, and this is what Hims is doing absolutely well. Then you also want to try to find the main reason why people buy and then build your entire messaging around it. Again, for Hims, it was quite simple. You want weight loss, you want fast weight loss, you want, weight loss that is easy. Because usually there was, some kind of caveat. If you want to lose weight, you either need to go to the gym or you need to eat healthy or you need to eat clean. And some people don't want to do that. They're lazy, which is fine. Some of them don't want to go to gym. They just want to lose weight without doing anything. And now Hims has a product that is giving them the option to do it, which is why their main reason is like, hey, weight loss, made easy, made simple, made fast. Like ideal solution that everyone wants, which is why I think their emails are so simple, because they don't need to do the selling. the product in itself has to do the selling. And I feel like that's the perfect takeaway from this whole strategy breakdown. Once again, if you run an e-com brand and you want me and my team to build this exact same system with a similar strategy, custom tailored to your brand, and implement everything fully done for you, there's gonna be a link below this video. You can book a free call with me to get a free audit plus a custom 60-day growth roadmap where I'm just gonna show you how you can scale your email revenue, but also your entire store, and most importantly, do it profitably. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.